Good day, here are the top stories from the Pna Headlines. The Philippines ended 2024 with a lower unemployment rate of 3.1% in December according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. In its latest labor force survey, the PSA reported that the number of jobless persons ages 15 and above dropped to 1.63 million from 1.66 million or 3.2% in November 2024. This is out of the 51.81 million Filipinos in the labor force. The December record is lower than the number of unemployed persons recorded in November 2024 at 1.66 million but higher than the number of unemployed at 1.6 million in December 2023. PSA Chief National Statistician Claire Dennis Mapa noted that unemployment eased as demand for labor increased during the holidays. The number of unemployed persons in 2024 stood at 1.94 million or 3.8%, down from 2.90 million in 2023, 4.4% year-on-year. Meanwhile, the employment rate in December 2024 was estimated at 96.9% or 50.19 million individuals, the same rate recorded in December 2023, but lower by number at 50.52 million. The employment rate in November 2024 was slightly lower at 96.8% or 49.54 million. The Senate and the House of Representatives have begun the formal review of the impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte. Senate Secretary Renato Bantug Jr. accepted the voluminous documents transmitted by the House Secretary General Reginald Velasco at the Senate in Pasay City on Wednesday. Bantug assured that every page of the document would be verified thoroughly and accounted for. Velasco also turned over the House's decision to appoint 11 prosecutors from the House who will represent the case before the Senate. The impeachment complaint was endorsed by 215 House members and approved in plenary on Wednesday. The review marks the next phase in the impeachment process. Senator Joel Villanueva said the impeachment complaint will be discussed during the plenary as the Senate's regular session resumes on June 2. Senator Ronald De La Rosa, meanwhile, said the complaint would likely be taken up after the May 12 midterm elections. Vice President Duterte is facing impeachment amid allegations of misuse of public funds as Education Secretary, as well as her threat to assassinate President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and other top officials. The House of Representatives has ratified a bill postponing the first regular elections in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. During the plenary session on Wednesday, lawmakers approved the Bicameral Conference Committee report reconciling House Bill 11144 and Senate Bill 2942. The reconciled version moved the BARMM polls from May 12, 2025 to October 13, 2025. Subsequent elections will then occur along with the 2028 national elections and every 3 years thereafter. Meanwhile, the current Bangsamoro Transition Authority will continue governing the region until newly elected officials assume office. The bills also mandate the BARMM government to grant the province of Sulu its share in the annual block grant based on guidelines from the Department of Budget and Management. The measure now awaits President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s signature. Meanwhile, Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. thanked lawmakers for passing the bill. He said the postponement allows the BARMM government to address urgent concerns that may affect the peace process before the elections. In other news, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has extended the term of Philippine National Police Chief General Romel Francisco Marbil by 4 months. Malacanang said Marcos issued a memorandum extending Marbil's government service dated February 4, 2025 and signed by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin. Marbil was supposed to retire on February 7, 2025 when he reaches the mandatory retirement age of 56. The president recently hinted at extending Marbil's term amid preparations for the May midterm elections. In a message sent to the Philippine news agency, Marbil thanked the president for trusting and having confidence in the PNP under his leadership. Marbil is a member of the Philippine Military Academy's Sampisig class of 1991. He took command of the PNP's top post on April 1, 2024. The Department of Education has partnered with the National Electrification Administration to supply electricity to schools not covered by power grids in the country. Education Secretary Sonny Angara and National Electrification Administration Administrator Antonio Mariano Almeda signed on Wednesday a memorandum of agreement aiming to electrify grid-off schools in the country. The MOA involves the designing of solar power systems in last-mile schools with funding from the DepEd. In a speech, DepEd Secretary Angara noted that power is a basic need, especially in public schools where around 1,500 of them still need access to electricity. Most of these schools are in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao and the provinces of North Cotabato, Palawan, Cebu, Zamboanga del Sur, and Negros Oriental. He said the Marcos administration's electrification programs for off-grid schools put into mind the welfare of learners. For his part, NEA Administrator Almeida said schools ideally need electricity to ensure modernized quality education. Energy Secretary Rafael Popo Lotilla, who witnessed the signing, meanwhile said the country needs around 85 billion to 100 billion pesos in funds to achieve the administration's electrification targets by 2028. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the Pna Headlines. For more news updates, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The Pna Headlines is also streamed via the Serbisyo Facebook page. You may also watch the Pna Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. I'm Wilnard Basalonia. This is the Pna Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.